Hey y'all, it's your girl KV coming to you with another Married to Medicine review. Um, it wasn't my intention to have to double up on this again, but here we are. Yeah. So I'm gonna do Married to Medicine today. Real Housewives of Potomac tomorrow. Yeah. And then what's after that? We ain't got no more Love and Marriage hip hop. We ain't got no more Love and Marriage Huntsville, thank goodness. I think this next Love After Lockup is the finale. So that'll be done. So I'll be just reviewing Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac at that point. So hopefully I can get a better schedule going on. But shout out to the ones, that are watching, Thank you for hanging in there as I build my channel. Hood Health Report is coming back next week. Make sure y'all check that out. Let's get to the review. So, Simone, okay, let's take it back a second. Season 10, episode 10, a very powerful message, Married to Medicine. We see Simone and Toya go for drinks, y'all. Toya tells Simone, you look stressed. When I called you, you were in scrubs. I thought you was coming straight from the hospital. I thought you was going to be in scrubs. Simone starts talking about her day, and she's like, I had to do this, speaking in medical terms. And Toya says, okay, never mind, girl. I don't know what the F you talking about. I ain't worried about that. How disrespectful. Like, even if you don't understand what your friend is saying, the complete disregard you had for her day, it was just like, this is why I look at Toya sideways a lot, because she is truly selfish. She's very selfish. Ooh, that's too bright. She's very selfish, and it shows in a lot of her relationships. So, yeah, just inconsiderate and selfish. So now Toya starts complaining about the lack of passion in her marriage, as she does every single season, y'all. This ain't nothing new. Simone tells her that Eugene is hesitant to plan any dates for her because she's so critical. So he said, he told you that? He told Cecil, but shut your mouth, okay? Hush. Don't be as if this conversation ain't on TV. But yes, she's hesitant to plan anything because she's very critical. She was like, well, what about your birthday last year to South Carolina? They talk about the South Carolina trip, and Toya said she basically hated the trip. He took her on some museum tour. He know that she hate museum tours. She know that he knows that she hates history. So she didn't want to go on no history tour and all this stuff like that. And the thing about Toya is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Yes, it seems like, and we see it, Eugene be so tired from work. He works in the emergency room. It's taxing. Is my camera crooked? He works in the emergency room. It can be taxing. He's tired. He works like 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts. We get it. He's tired. But that don't give you an excuse to just do anything, So I can agree with her on that, because don't take me to South Carolina for my birthday. We can go to South Carolina as a family. That could be on a family trip if it's just on the list of places to go, because they said it was on their bucket list. Let's do South Carolina as a family. That seems like more of a family trip. But my birthday? No. Maybe not. So I ain't all that mad at Toya about that. It's just the way she says stuff. Like, my birthday was horrible. It was terrible. Just say you would have had more fun at Bermuda. I would have had more fun in Mexico. I really would have liked to go to such and such for my birthday. Now, it was terrible. It was horrible because it's like they make people not want to do nothing for you. And it makes you look like the bad guy when ultimately you just expressing yourself. You just don't know how to express yourself. So Simone is like, in her confessional, girl, do you hear yourself? Cut him some slack. You know, you need to, she tell her, find a better way to address things because this ain't it. Next, we see some flip back and forth scenes of Jackie and Simone both talking to some patients about semaglutide. Is it semaglutide or semaglutide? I've heard it said either way. But talking about semaglutide, which is, I think, like generic Ozempic. Yes, generic Ozempic for weight loss. A little shot for weight loss. Of course, Jackie is letting her patient know that she is morbidly obese and she needs to do something about it and da 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 da. We know how Jackie is. Like, she sees a fat person and just dies on the inside and just has to tell them how terribly fat and unhealthy they are. I get it, she's a doctor and this is her patient, so in this setting, it is appropriate for her to let her patient know. But because it's Dr. Jackie and she always does this and she's real thin, so she feels like she really can look down her nose on anybody that has just the tiniest meat on their bones. It's just off-putting. Simone is talking to her patient in the sense that she has to come off the semaglutide because she wants to have a baby. She's trying to get pregnant, so she needs to be off of the medication. They do mention that the controversy of it because it was prescribed as a diabetes medicine, and now we're getting to a point where diabetics can barely get the medicine because everybody's buying up the shots for weight loss. So back to Simone's patient, they get into a deeper conversation about her trying to get pregnant because her patient is over 40. I think she said she was like 45. The patient is 45 and trying to get pregnant. So they talk about how, you know, there are a lot of risks that comes with the getting pregnant at this age, but there are tests that will check for chromosomal abnormalities to make sure that the baby is okay and the baby has a chance once they get here, which, you know, can be controversial in itself because some people feel like regardless of how the baby gonna live, you need to bring that baby to life, whereas some people feel like if my baby gonna have all these chromosomal or abnormalities and they gonna have no quality of life outside of, you know, being hooked up to stuff in the hospital or, you know, needing to be cared for their entire life, you know. So they talk about the chromosomal abnormalities to make sure that the baby is okay, but in the event that the baby is not okay, or in the event that her life is in danger bringing that baby to term, you know, I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, you know, it'd be so much, you know, terminating, ways to terminate the pregnancy. But that's illegal in Georgia, so they would have to travel elsewhere to get that done because Georgia has the heartbeat bill where once it's 6 weeks once you hear the baby's heartbeat, it's no terminating. You got to bring that baby to term, which is so crazy because it's like people don't find out they're pregnant until 6 weeks. Like, it's very few people, unless you are trying your bestest, going through IVF, it ain't too many people taking a test at exactly 4 weeks to see if they're pregnant. As somebody who has had 3 pregnancies, I found out about all of them at the 6 to 7 week mark. Now, we know I only have one child, so I was, you know, struck with some misfortune with the other two, but it's very, very few and far between that people find out that they're pregnant before 6 weeks. And side note, y'all, I can't remember what state it was, but they talked about the drastic increase in babies being born from sexual assault because of this. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what they want. They want to repopulate these communities because now that women have the choice to have birth control, and got all the IUDs and the pills and termination, and all of these things, they complaining that we're not having enough children. How's the world gonna go on if we don't have enough children to be slaves to the workforce, basically? So yeah, that conversation was very, very neat to hear, because people don't be knowing that this is the stuff that goes on. Next, we see Heavenly. She has T.S. Madison in a chair. She's doing an implant in her mouth. T.S. Madison gonna tell her, "You the only woman I let in my mouth." And they sitting there being silly, but then Heavenly kind of asks her some questions about trans people issues, and they have a real conversation that also I feel like needs to be on TV. People need to see this. Heavenly also mentions that when she first met T.S. Madison, she didn't know she was trans. She just thought she was a natural born woman. So I mean, there's that. Next, we see Toya and Eugene take their boys to the dentist. I hear a lot of criticism that people don't like family scenes. So like when they with their kids, they be like, "Oh, this boring. We need to cut this." But I'm like, this is a show about family. Married to Medicine. These people have husbands and children and family. So I don't mind these little scenes like this. They don't bother me none. So Toya and Eugene take their boys to the dentist. While they're, waiting to be seen, they talking about dating, basically. Boys, girls liking each other. One of the sons say, "Girls don't like smart boys." And then Toya's like, "They only like jocks." And they make fun of her like, "Nobody uses that word, Mom." Like, just say athlete or whatever. And so they said, Eugene says, "Well, yeah, the football guys got attention from the prettier girls." And Toy was like, "The prettier girls? What you trying to say about me?" And I was with Toya in that regard. Cause what you mean the prettier girls? Like, you just took what you can get with me? Boy, you better hush. You better shut up and eat that biscuit. Playing with me like this in front of these kids. So next, Eugene tells the boys, "Your mama my girlfriend, but she won't take me on a date." And I'm like, "Yeah, Eugene, tell her, get her together, because y'all married. It's not just one-sided courting now. She wants you to take her out. She need to take you out as well, especially if she has so many complaints about how he does things." So you felt like he took you on a date that was really for him with the butcher shop? Take him on a date that's really for you, something that you want to do. Period. So yeah, they go on to the dentist. They see the dentist. One of the son need braces, the other one wisdom teeth coming in. Yada yada yada. Next, we see Sweet Tea. I guess I call her Sweet Tea today. Sweet Tea and Dr. G go to the doctor about her fibroids. They're gonna do surgery, and she got some fibroids. I think she had two. She got two fibroids. She asked where they were as far as inside of her uterus, outside of her uterus, and she's been having back pains. So she tells her, a little bit more information about the fibroids, and that they're gonna go ahead and schedule the surgery. And after the surgery, she's gonna have to wait 6 months before she tries to get pregnant. And they were both like, "Whoa, 6 months? Okay, that's a minute, but you gotta heal." Next, we see Simone and Cecil go visit their sons. Simone gives Michael, she loves Michael. I'm sure she loves both her kids, but Michael is her favorite. Just everything about the interactions. I guess Michael is her baby, and since that's her little mini me, that is her favorite. I'm sure she got Miles something too, a pillow or something too, but we see her gift Michael. We see her gift Michael this pillow, and it says, "Call your mom, be safe, and don't do stupid s. Don't do stupid ish." And he like, "Oh yeah. That's tight. That go hard. That go hard. Thank you, mom." I told you them two. They like this. They are the same. Down from the looks, the personality. They real boisterous and outspoken and stuff like that. Then she comes, which I'm sure was just Simone being Simone. She wasn't too serious. She takes a black light out and goes to Michael's room to see if it's any fluids or condoms in the bed and stuff like that. And when she finished, she goes to the bathroom and to his bedroom. When she finished, Cecil asked her, "You gonna go to Miles' room? You gonna check Miles' room too?" She said, "Miles don't need that." Just call your son a lame on TV, why don't you? It just cracked me up the way she was like, "He ain't getting none over there. He don't need me to black lights." Yeah. Just a mess. Next thing we see the guy, they made some jambalaya. They eat the jambalaya. Oh, it's better than I thought it would be. Okay, cool. Next we see Jackie have the ladies over to like a little production studio, and they do a PSA on black maternal mortality. Heavenly goes first, and y'all, she is struggling. She had to do hers so many times. I don't know how many takes she did in reference to everybody else, but they made it look like Heavenly was up there struggling. Toya came in late and tries to go next. Simone ain't really having it. Simone is like, "Girl, you came here late. I'm going next. You need to get up." Jackie is annoyed, and I think dang everybody came in late except for Heavenly and Simone. So she was very much annoyed, and I was very much getting flashbacks from the breast friends photo shoot that she did for the lookbook seasons ago. "You guys are disrespectful and you need to get out." And she slammed that door. I was getting flashbacks to that. I was like, "Ooh, she ain't gonna cuss these folks out." But she didn't. Or if she did, we didn't see it. So, Tacky Toya. Another instance of where I'm like, Toya, time and place, baby. Time, place, and tone. Let's add tone in there. Time, place, and tone. They going over the script backstage or wherever. And Toya is like, "This script boring. I'm going to have to liven it up some." Girl, y'all are doing a PSA about black maternal mortality. It's not supposed to be funny or cute. This is real stuff. Like, what is your problem? Also, while they back there, Sweet Tea talks about how she not only has endometriosis, but she also has sarcoidosis or something like that, where her lymph nodes swell up and sometimes it makes it hard to breathe. So I'm like, dang, this girl got a lot going on. Next, we see the men go out. They go to a cigar bar, and Cecil is such... I don't even know the word for Cecil. He be just cracking me up. Cecil is definitely like outside of like the arguments. He ain't out here trying to argue with people. But Cecil is the Peter of this show. Like, he's gonna be in tune. He's gonna know what's going on. So when they get to the cigar bar, all the short guys on one side of the table, all the tall guys on the other side. He gonna say the smalls and the talls. I said, not you, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Talking about the smalls and the talls. So they ordering, and I can't remember who ordered the drink first, but Dr. G ordered the same thing somebody else drank. I think it was Eugene drank. He's like, is this a man's drink? Is this a man's drink? You can't bring me no something colorful drink in a martini glass. And they like, if a man's drinking it, it's a man's drink. Get over it. That's what I can appreciate about Eugene. He don't care. He's very comfortable in his manhood. If he taking down his wife weave or if he playing golf, he is who he is and he don't feel no type of way about it. More men need to take notes. So this is where Dr. Alicia's husband, starts talking about how Alicia hung up her dentist coat for motherhood, and basically he don't really like it. He not outright saying that he don't like it, but we can tell from the tone that he want her to get back to work. But I'm like, who's taking care of your kids if she getting back to work? You already don't. This was your first time taking care of the kids is when they went to Napa. So, and then he goes, where I'm from, if your woman not listening, you a weak man. And everybody just kind of like, okay. And he asked them how they feel about her not working. They're like, well, how do you feel? That's what matters. How do you feel? And in his confessional, Cecil said, I get it. You know, I got a brother who was a caveman too. Cracked me up. Kimmer then says that he refused to cut off his nutsack. And Damon was like, excuse me, B? So you saying we don't have our nuts or something just because we got strong-willed women? And he tries to clean it up a little bit, but at this point, you know, they are side-eyeing him because he taking little slick shots. So they said the men do need to take back some control. And I can't remember what Kimmer said, like, to go along with that, but he's like, yeah, we need to take back control. Women doing too much these days. Eugene said, not really, because women are still not doing as good as men. They still not making as much, yada, yada, yada. So we don't really need to take back control. We still need to support women. That's what I'm saying. That's why I love Dr. Eugene. He gonna say what's right, what's meant. He gonna be comfortable in saying it, and you better not check him for it. You better not check him for it. So, Married to Medicine people have been doing a lot of press, y'all. We saw Sweet Tea on Angela Yee's show, and the one thing that stuck out, I'm just gonna talk about one thing. The one thing that stuck out to me is her saying that, of course, Dr. G knew about my medical history. So why are you on screen acting like you learning all this stuff for the first time? That annoyed me deeply, because I get it, you need a storyline, you need something to talk about, which I never believed that she found out all this stuff on TV. I really didn't. Like, I really didn't, and I've discussed it in previous reviews, but for her to just straight out say, of course he knew about my medical history. That was one of the, the first things we discussed once we got serious and everything. So why is you playing an all face then? I forgot I had this stuff on. Let me ask my husband. I can't spell. Stir. I'm cooking some chili. I need it to be stirred up. Stir it up, as Funky Dineva would say. Next episode, episode 11, Not Phaedra's Type. This episode was funny. You can tell this episode is going to be, like, it's feeling like, it was like here in the beginning, and then we was kind of on a downward slope because they ain't had nothing to talk about. Once Quiet got kicked off, and this episode feel like, we going back up the roller coaster now. We going back up the roller coaster, y'all. I'm ready. So, this episode, one of the small scenes that cracked me up, how it's coming on, and they just kind of show everybody's home life, what they up to, this, that, and the third. Sweet Tea was at Heavenly's dentist office getting some type of procedure done on her gums, which, not saying that she needed, but she do got a lot of gums. So I think she said like some type of gum sculpting, I guess to make them not be so pronounced or whatever. I don't know. So Heavenly asked her, how you gonna be paying? Do you have the card, or do you need to call Dr. G and get the card information? She said, I gotta call and get the info. Heavenly messy but gonna say, Quad had the card. Y'all, I was in the floor laughing at that, because why would you say that to that girl? Why would she say that in my Megan Thee Stallion voice? So next, we see Eugene takes Toya on a date to make floral arrangements. It was cute, and she actually appreciated it because she loves flowers. She puts flowers all over the house. So, she was appreciative of it. Now, my thing is, did Toya take him on a date between these dates that he took her on? I'm really wondering, because I hope she did. On this date, Eugene told Toya that she is difficult to be married to. He told that lady she is difficult to be married to, and she's trying to act all shocked as if she don't complain and embarrass this man every season on the show. I say this season, I don't think that, well, it ain't over yet, but she ain't really embarrassed him this season. She ain't said, I never knew that it wouldn't get no bigger. Baby, she would have been sleeping on the couch after that comment. That was so terrible in Vegas. Anyway, next we see Damon has a medical mixer at a cigar bar. Heavenly's dress was so over the top, y'all. Simone said it right while I was thinking it. She said, we can tell Phaedra dressed her. It's like it had a choker on the dress, and it was cut off down the shoulders, and it was super short, super tight with fur around the bottom. It looked like she went to Phaedra's house, picked a wig out her closet, picked a dress out her closet to go to this event, which was she looks so out of place, because it looks like, a happy hour after work type deal. And somebody said she looked like she was going on Dancing with the Stars. Heavenly said on her little Messy Monday Lives with Carlos King that she did that to be talked about. And I can believe it, because, you could tell by how she was looking that she didn't really feel all that comfortable in the dress. But she knew that was going to have everybody, Heavenly look crazy. Why Heavenly wear that? Heavenly, 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 Heavenly. She know what she be doing some of the time to be talked about, whether it's good or bad. She know what she doing. What is my child doing? Next, I think it was Toya. Toya is the one that told Dr. Alicia that her husband said the men ain't got no balls. Dr. Alicia, she's gonna be the perfect wife when it comes to talking in front of everybody sometime. So she's like, she gonna stay behind him. She okay, well, maybe he meant this. Okay, well, if he said this, then this is what he meant. Making excuses, but she does admit that he fussed at her about being so independent. And I'm like, yeah, he does. And you've also emasculated your husband on here, saying that since you was raised by a single parent, you were taught that whatever needs to be done, you're going to get it done, and he's not that way. And you was having to take out tools and do handy stuff and use hammers and stuff. Ew. And she gonna tell him, you're not being a man, because I got to go over here and hammer this picture on the wall or whatever it was. I agree. I don't do that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I can admit that when I first got in a relationship with my husband, it was, I ain't gonna say it was contention, but if I needed something done, I would text him and my daddy at the same time. Whoever make it here first to get it done gets it done. He was feeling like, you gonna take your daddy, you gonna make your daddy think that I ain't no real man, no good man, because you calling him for everything when you need to be calling me. I'm like, I'm not finna wait 3 days for you to get over here if my daddy can do it right now. I feel you, but you gotta feel me too. So yeah, I don't even do all that. Between my daddy, my stepdaddy, and my husband, use a hammer, build a desk. I'm sorry. And I was raised by a single mama too. Like my parents were married at some point, but eventually they got divorced. And I saw my mama cut grass. I ain't never pushed no lawnmower in my life. I saw my mama do a lot of things that a single mother would. But to be honest, that just inspired me to find a man that would do these things because I ain't getting behind a lawnmower. You know, at one point in my life, my daddy did make me learn some stuff up under the hood of the car because he didn't want me to be some little damsel in distress on the side of the road. But I think I've changed my tire once, and that was because in Atlanta, it was a snowstorm. Ooh, the snowstorm that was like 10 years ago. It was a snowstorm, and couldn't nobody get to me, to my house, that is, to my where I live to change it. So I ended up just doing it myself with my little cousin. But that was the only time I've done like some men work as I think of it as. So yeah, back to the show. They going back and forth, Toya and Alicia, and Toya starts like, oh, okay, your man real difficult. Or, oh, she said something crazy. And Alicia said, oh, okay, well, you're difficult too. Just like you, huh? Difficult and very opinionated. Y'all are just alike. Facts. She got it with that one. Whether it was warranted or not, Alicia got it with that one. Next, we see Heavenly is trying to hook Phaedra up with an old man. And he makes a joke about, he said something about he play drums. Well, she said something about, oh, you act like you playing drums. He said, I do know how to play drums. Looks at her booty. Is that a drum? Get your old nasty self out of here. And anyway, Phaedra don't even like old men. Apollo was like dang near 10 years younger than her, wasn't it? So everybody should know we don't want Heavenly hooking us up with nobody. How she did Quad. Remember when she had them dates for Quad, y'all? And had them come back to back to where one of them had to tell the other, oh, okay, I'm her next day. Like, Heavenly needs to stop trying to play matchmaker. Talking about she a relationship expert. Girl, get out of here. Phaedra said, it's 3 cute young men trying to push up on me. I'ma talk to them. And I think they said that's where she met her next boyfriend, her next doctor boyfriend. So in her confessional, Phaedra said something like, because when the guy was talking about the drums, the booty drums or whatever, she was like, ain't no rat-a-tat-tat unless he gonna make it clap, 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 make it rain. Phaedra, are you a prostitute? Are you telling us that you'll give it to the highest bidder? Because that is what we get from you. Are you scarred from Apollo? Because we know you made more than Apollo, and you said you're gonna never do that again, I suppose, huh? She ain't messing with no bro, okay? And following suit with Phaedra, selling it to the highest bidder, after Damon does his little thank you speech, I'm opening up a new center, yada, 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 Heavenly gets the mic, brings Phaedra on stage, and basically auctions her off. Who wanna date her? Who wanna date her? She need a doctor man. She needs somebody with some money. Who wanna date her? Girl, bye. Next, we see Simone huddles the girls over to let them know about the couple's trip to Hilton Head. Jackie has a visceral reaction, y'all. I'm like, what is happening? And Heavenly goes off because Hilton Head is where Curtis took his mistress when he was caught cheating some seasons ago. Simone says she forgot and she would never do anything to Jackie on purpose, which I can believe. And we already been told that production plans these trips. Okay, so allegedly they didn't have enough money. They wanted to go. The goal was to go to Africa, and which that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's the 10 years. This is season 10. It should be a nice big trip. They always go international. I think the only couples trip that they had that wasn't International was like the first couple years when they went to the cabins. Right after that, they was going to like Cabos and all that stuff like that. So I was really thrown off by South Carolina Hilton Head. Like I said earlier in the review, when it came to Toya, that ain't no sexy trip. That ain't no sexy trip, y'all. So allegedly it was casting who did the trip, and they pick who they want to host, and this is just how the cookie crumbles. Um, yeah. Jackie tells Curtis, and he really don't want to go, but Jackie do because it's the group's 10-year anniversary. But Curtis is like, I ain't trying to unearth nothing. We doing good now. I'm not trying to go back down that road. Next, we see such a sweet and wholesome moment, y'all. It's Aiden's 13th birthday party, and it is so nice in there. At the beginning of the episode, we see her sitting down with, I believe her name is Tori Williams. She's like a big event planner down in Atlanta. I started following her when she did Crystal Renee's birthday party, and it was so grand. That's Fatima from Sisters and Zatima. She did her birthday party, and it was nice. It looked beautiful. She quoted her $70,000 for this party, y'all. $70,000. I mean, if you got it, spend it on your kids. Spend it on these memories. 13 is a coming of age type of age. So what else you gonna spend the money on, child? Phaedra, I'm sure she a millionaire with all her businesses. She a lawyer and all that stuff like that. So what's $70,000 for her child? Toya is doing the most, because when Aiden makes his little appearance, she's like, well, why wouldn't he come out with his dad? Why isn't Apollo here? Is Apollo here? Why wouldn't he be here? I mean, if he a good dad, she should let him be here for these moments, just because he got a record, he can't come around. And I'm like, girl, you don't know what's going on with these people to assume that she only don't have his man around because he had a record, because he went to jail. It was just so annoying. Like I said, y'all, tacky toy. So the party was very nice. She had Dwight emceeing. There was a bar. It's a whole carnival going on, food trucks and all. We see Cecil's brother, and I'm wondering, is this the caveman brother that he was talking about in the last episode when he was talking about, oh, I got a brother like that. He a caveman too, like Kima. Heavenly asked him some questions, and they end up being like, oh, he's married. I'm married. She's like, you married? I know I don't know you like that, but why you ain't got no ring on? It's too many single women around here. You giving people the wrong impression. You need a ring on. Crack me up, y'all, because I agree. Next, we see Aiden does this very heartfelt speech. He talks about how his mama his best friend, and she loved him more than he can even understand, and she always wants them to do their best, and it was just really heartfelt. And this is where the wholesomeness ends, y'all. Because next, we see Simone and Heavenly get to arguing. What are they arguing about? Jackie, of course. Their girlfriend, Jackie. Heavenly is fussing at Simone about her doing the trip at Hilton Head where Curtis cheated, and this being a trigger for Jackie. Jackie has expressed that this, stung a bit or is triggering, or, whatever verbiage she used, I can't remember. But she expressed that, this don't make her feel good. I would think that we could change the trip. Because, why not? It's South Carolina. Get them refunds back. You ain't spending that much money. Get them refunds back and let's go somewhere else. Like, get it when you got enough money to take everybody international, but I feel like, why wouldn't the trip be changed? But also, why would Jackie get special privileges if this is production's call and not Simone's, right? But just going back, the claim that they didn't have enough money to take everybody international. Did y'all pay Phaedra too much money and now y'all ain't got the funds to do a 10-year anniversary, right? Because this is just ridiculous. South Carolina, y'all. And this ain't nothing against South Carolina. I want to go to Hilton Head as well. But a 10-year friend anniversary group trip or a birthday trip, that ain't when I want to go. That ain't when I want to go to South Carolina, y'all. I'm sorry. But no offense to South Carolina or anybody who lived there. I'm sure there are some gems there, as there is in most places. So, like I said, Simone and Heavenly are arguing over Jackie. Jackie's standing there for a while, and then she just moseys on off as if she's not the one they arguing over. And it just proves that Jackie does like having a bulldog in Heavenly to say what she's too classy and poised to say most of the time. You know, that's what I took from that. That's really what I took from that, because any other time Jackie will be like, don't speak for me, or I can speak for myself, or I got it. She ain't do none of that. She just let Heavenly. So I mean, what else are we to believe? So yeah, y'all, that was these episodes of Married to Medicine. Trying to think, did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything important. Everybody's been doing interviews and this, that, and the third, but I don't think anything ever gave us any new information. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is Sweet Tea on Angela Yee saying that, of course, Dr. G knew about my medical history. Heavenly was on there with Angela Yee as well, but again, I don't think anything new or exciting was said. Oh, I've been watching Oliver Twixt. Oliver Twixt on YouTube. He used to be Funky Dineva's assistant, and he used to do social media stuff for Heavenly. I always said, you remember when they would do stuff together, you'd be like, call Oliver, tell Oliver to do this. You know, he been doing some interviews too. He interviewed Audra. She was talking about how, you know, she didn't get asked back for this season, which I'm like, that was a missed opportunity. I feel like Audra would have, you know, did good her second season. I didn't dislike her first season. It's just Toya was a freaking bully to her and just always found a reason to pick on that girl. Like, girl, relax. He also interviewed Buffy, and Buffy basically said her foot is gonna stay on Dr. Jackie's neck. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. In the words of Janae Aiko, you're right, I'm bitter. Yes, she is. She stands in it proudly. That cracked me up. She called, how dare somebody talk about, you know, Jackie, Jesus of Nazareth. But yes, I will. I must keep my foot on her neck every chance I get. So that cracked me up. But like I said, wasn't anything really new information or something that just, you know, pertinent for me to be like, oh, let me talk about this. So yeah, y'all, I've been on here long enough. Hopefully y'all still with me. Like, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about this episode. Do you think we on a steady little incline? Because the previews for next week, y'all, we gonna see why Jackie said, they showed the commercial clip of like, I'ma slap her in her mouth like her mama should have done. We gonna see why that happens, y'all. Because I've been waiting on it like, woo, what happened for Jackie to step into her true villainism like that? We saw a taste of it, so I'm gonna wait to talk about it, y'all. But that's it